Yeah, man, people, welcome back. Yeah, another episode of the Prem Podcast, man. Two beautiful day today, man. Pooh, how you doing, man? What on?
Doing good, Easy, easy. No stress if it stress me out this weekend. Not until tomorrow. But yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, some big fixtures, over the Premier League over the last couple of days, man. But we have a whole lot of football to watch this weekend. Saw Girona play yesterday, man, and we saw the Real Madrid game, with Girona and Leverkusen, and that game over there in Italy, Roma. Yes, against Inter, today the big game, the African Cup of Nations. But we're here to talk about the Premier League, what's happened over the last few days in the Premier League, But wow, what a big game at Villa Park. That's where we're going to start, man, Paul, man. That big game at Villa Park. Yeah, Man United came back to beat Aston Villa after 1-1. And that late goal, the Scott 2-footy hat. Yeah, the Scottish man got that late goal again. I think that's his I think around 12 goals, in this competition, in international and club, for the Scottish man this season. I think he's United leading goal scorer this season too. But as I said, man, I'm going to start things off, right there, at the game, Aston Villa versus Man United, man. But I'm going to say something. That first 20 minutes, United should have been at least 2-0 up in that game. You agree with me?
Yeah. United was the United should have. I think they should have at least scored another goal. And they started the game very good, and there was hitting Aston Villa on the break, and Aston Villa was playing this very high line, and they just keep getting behind them, their back line with Rashford and Garnacho. Maybe sometime Garnacho could have put the ball a little bit better and a plate for Haaland, but
Yeah. End
United
product.
started the game. Yeah, end product was kind of lacking,
Yeah.
for especially on Garnacho's side. I think Rashford more is like you want to cut in and shoot, but you
All
know
the time. One
all the
dimension.
time. Yeah, he doesn't look up. Even when Luke Shaw was overlapping, you could have played him through, and then Luke Shaw would have put the ball in the box. But yeah, United could have at least score a couple of goals in the first half.
Yeah. I didn't realize until Leon Bailey got that opportunity around the 20th minute of the game that Leon Bailey was actually playing. He was nowhere to be found in that game. Yeah, but he gradually, managed himself to get in pace with the game, and he started to, take on Luke Shaw, and he got a few breakaways in the game where I think he should have done a bit better, especially going 1v1 against United defenders. But, Leon Bailey, is it a poor game, excellent display, or just an average game for the Reggae Boy International?
He have a decent game. First off, he was kind of having a very hard time to get on the ball. I see one scenario where there was like four United player around him, and he still find a way to get out that situation. They get fouled by Bruno Fernandes when he was,
Yeah,
But I feel like they was trying to double up on him because I feel like they realized that if Aston Villa to get back in the game or get anything from that game, it would have coming from his side. Like he's the most influence player for them, so they was kind of team up on him.
team up, yeah.
Yes. So second half, he did get in the game a little bit.
Yeah,
Put couple ball back in the box, and
yeah,
I think he played Ramsey through, but Ramsey
yeah,
didn't able to
yeah,
capture the
they don't
ball.
want to
But
get that one.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I think he had a decent game. I don't think he was one of his best game. I don't think he was bad, or I don't think he was average. I think it was a decent game. I just think that United kind of like double up on him. But in the second
Yeah.
half, you could see he come in the game a little bit.
I just don't know why, he just can't get in, more like 80, 90 minutes in the game. I don't see him as a player looking tired today. When he made that long dribble, when he trying to play Jacob Ramsey in, he kind of look a bit winded, but obviously he's running like for 40, 50 yards, from his defensive third into United attacking third. So you could know that player is going to get a little bit wind. But I just want to see Unai Emery, man, trust him a little bit, especially the last quarter of the game. See what he can do in those types of games, especially when the game stretch. Both teams, are going at it. The game is open up more spaces on the wing, but he gradually, he will get there. But I want to talk about little about Aston Villa. You said that the highline, but the highline was one, but another one they were playing too narrow. They were playing way too narrow, and you could see that United both fullbacks, Luke Shaw and Dalot had a field day on the wings, especially Garnacho and Rashford playing wide, and you could see that teams now kind of figuring out what Unai Emery is doing, that narrow 4-2-2 system, yeah, and teams are overlapping, down the wing areas, but I must say it's a wonderful game, by Aston Villa. Yeah, and United side, you could see that United is gradually getting to that rhythm where they have moments in the game where they control a little bit of possession, they control the tempo of the game, but I just feel like United dropped off it, I think around 10 minutes after the 50th minute, after second half, and Aston Villa, you could see that the goal was coming. The goal was coming,
Yeah.
and they did get the goal, and it was a Leon Bailey cross that deflected to Douglas Luiz, but that Aston Villa surge in that last quarter of the game, but just before Scott McTominay scored, you saw that the goal was coming.
Yeah. I saw the game. The goal was coming. I was some point. I was telling one of my friend. He was a United fan, and I was telling that thing. I need to make a change. Need to change at the midfield. I think the midfield was getting overrun. Menu and Casemiro, they kind of look legged in a couple in the last part of that. So you could just see that goal coming, and he didn't really change it. I think he's a react manager. Like he do things when things happen after. I think he could have bring an armor back a little bit earlier and stay with the midfield a little bit. But anyways, they still end up able to win the game. But if Aston Villa, if they're having and they're shooting balls, and if this was Aston Villa, your face early up in the season, I think y'all would have lost this game because I just feel like they're going through a bad part right now. And United is always able to hold on into a game and nick it at the last every time. This is what experience do. They have a lot of experience in the team, but Aston Villa, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is just their time in the season where they're having a bad run.
United though, since Ten Hag got back a few pieces like Luke Shaw, Casemiro, we saw the last game that Lisandro Martinez played. You see a little bit of more of a balanced team, especially defending, in the defensive third, in the midfield, a little bit more possession, Menu kind of look a little bit more calm on the ball, Casemiro's looking really good on that defensive side in that number 6 position. Bruno getting the opportunity to play way up more as Casemiro is there. Rashford is looking a little bit more positive, but need to do a little bit more. 1v1 when you get opportunities with the opponent fullbacks. But you see improvements in the last, say, 3 to 4 games, from United since the injured players came back.
Yeah, I see a little bit more stability, especially in the defense and the midfield. With Casemiro playing with that in that double pivot with Menu. Casemiro look when the season just starting, they look very indisciplined. Just keep on running out of the midfield. I think since he came back, he kind of look a little bit more disciplined. I don't know if it's that a talk happened between him and Ten Hag probably told him, hey, you stay back and let the young kid do the roaming. And, but I do see a low stability in the defense and attack. Holland start to get in the groove, start to get on goals and stuff like that. There's a consistency with the front line, Garnacho, Holland and Rashford on the left. So there's a consistency with the team. Otherwise, compared to when the season just did start. Too much change up. Players was getting injured, but yeah, I see. And on the keeper look a little bit more better, because he was making a lot of mistake and stuff like that. So, you know, I still think United gonna fall short because I don't think they can continue playing like this. Because I feel like, as I said, if Aston Villa they have on the shooting boots,
Yeah.
the United would have lost this game. But I still think United need to control the game a little bit more better. They
In a longer
can't just
period. Control the
yeah,
game in
nah,
a longer
yeah,
period.
they can't just rely on just counter
Yeah.
attack and they can't. I think
Eh,
a better team will beat them. Go ahead.
uh, Two more things. Harry Maguire is looking like the player that United, that they saw at Leicester and supposed to carry over that farm to United. He look that player right now, and he was a very influential player today in both in the attacking box and in that defensive box when it comes on to set piece. He was right there amongst everything when Bruno Fernandes is getting those set piece in, or if Aston Villa Douglas Lewis is whipping those ball in. He's right on the end, but Harry Maguire, he's looking like that Harry Maguire that supposed to be playing for United for the last couple of seasons. He looked like that real deal.
I want to say it look like a real. I think how y'all guys are playing now. I think it's suit this type of game. Sit back and hit and counter attack. You see, when you guys to need to dominate possession and
Yeah,
have the ball, play a high line. I don't think that is his game. I think his game suit you guys stay behind, defend, ball whipping in the box. You guys heading out. I think those type of football suit Maguire game. So you're gonna see if that's how England play. You know,
yeah,
though with a back five as well. Those type of football kind of suit Maguire way. I don't think Maguire um is the way to look forward if you guys want to play that high line like what City is playing. Even Villa play a very high line because Maguire he wasn't blessed with speed and on the turn he's just not quick enough to get back. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I mean, if I don't think he's doing a job for me, but I still think that if you guys want to get to that level where you guys dominate in games on a very longer period, I
yeah,
don't think Maguire is going to be the answer to be in the backline. But for now, what Ten Hag is just grinding out results to get
yeah.
to the top four, I think it suits his style of play for now.
Aston Villa and Holly Watkins. Holly Watkins are missing 14 big chances in the game, in the Premier League season before this game. And yeah, so I think he got two opportunities in this game, so you could add it around 16, big miss of the season. Obviously, he's in double figures in his scoring this season for Villa. Sometimes, Harley Watkins, he scored the goals, but when it comes on to the bigger games, I need to finish your opportunities. One chance, one goal. Something what Jamie Vardy did in his time at Leicester City. You just cannot give him two or three opportunities. He's going to score two or three goals, with all those opportunities. But Harley Watkins seems like he's a little bit off, recently. But this is a question I'm going to put in two parts for you. Aston Villa, is it start to crumble for them, especially at home, back-to-back defeat? Saw what happened last home game against Newcastle where they lost 3-1. No, they concede again, first equalize, and then they just fall apart in the last minute of the game. You saw, is it something that started to be a trend for them at home, especially going into the European season? European knockout campaign is starting, in a week from now?
Yeah, I think they started to get a little bit stale. I think you need to switch it up a little bit. I think they've been playing the same. Otherwise, on Tyrone Mings and Kansa is
Yeah,
missing. They've been playing the same setup lineup. Ollie Watkins have been playing a striker, and then Bailey and Diaby
yeah,
have been switching out using that flank, but. Otherwise than that, they have been playing the same players whole season. So, that can get a little stale and teams can do find them out. Like this is the Premier League, you get what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I think it may need to switch it up a little bit. And they're playing this high line, they're playing this high line and they keep getting caught out. Like I see the midweek game, even the midweek game against Chelsea, they were just keep getting caught up. So so it's a wrong time, a wrong part of the end of the season now to start, you know, get start to struggle because you need Tottenham. Tottenham is gonna be there. United is going right behind them. We got 5 points.
Yeah.
So, I think who they play next? Who Villa play
Um,
next?
let's see who Villa play next. Just give me a moment. So Aston Villa next game will be at Craven Cottage against Fulham. That will be a big one.
Okay,
That
that's
will be
gonna be a big
that will
one.
be a
They
big
need to win that game, and they're not so good away, especially
so
when they.
sorry to cut you, but Aston Villa next couple of games, will be Fulham, will play away to Fulham, will host Nottingham Forest, will travel away to Kenwick Road to Luton Town, and then they would have that big game against Spurs at Villa Park. So they have 3 good games that's coming up, the winnable game that they should win,
Yeah.
but before they play that Fulham game. So yeah, so those are the rest of fixtures before Spurs game. You
Okay.
were saying something?
Yeah, I was saying that they're not that good away, especially when they play any team from not from the bottom. From the bottom three. They're very poor. You see that they smashed Sheffield United the other week, but otherwise than that, they have not
Yeah.
been so convincingly away from home in the Premier League. So, this they can get a result at Fulham. Fulham have won their last game in the Premier League, so that's gonna be a very, very very difficult game away, regardless of how we're Fulham in the table.
Yeah.
So let's see
All
how they
right.
did the
So
next game.
Villa Villa standing in the table in away games. They played 12 away games of the season. Yeah, they won 5, they drew 3, and they lost 4. So that's 18 points with 19 goals scored and 19 goals conceded. So they lead goals on the road. And on the home farm for Fulham this season, Fulham is 8th in the league when it comes down to home games. They won 7, they lost 4 and drew 1, and also conceded 18 and scored 18 at home. So, both teams, struggle to keep a clean. That team, Fulham, struggle to keep a clean sheet at home. Meanwhile, Aston Villa, when they travel on the road, they cannot keep clean sheets. But I'm going to move on to that other big game that played today. The London Derby, West Ham United struggle again at home. Yeah, West Ham, they haven't won a game since the turn of the new year. What's going on with David Moyes at London, man?
I think it's time for David Moyes to go. I think his way of playing is outdated. Sit back
Yeah.
behind the ball
Too
and of
negative
course
today. It's too
negative,
negative.
negative at home. Yes, he won them the Europa Conference League, but I'm sorry, that team that they have enough players can play some good football. This 5 at the back, and no, I think it's time to go for David Moyes. I think it's time to call it a day. Yeah, that was men against boys. That was made no sense. Turn up and they were walking. I don't know if the players give up on David Moyes, but that was a very poor,
That was a very poor display. The fans
very
walking
poor.
out at the first half. The fans, man, walking. The stadium is getting empty. You could see when they show the footage outside. The fans were just bailing out of the stadium. But I must say, you must give Arsenal a lot of credit. They started the game really aggressive.
Yeah,
They learned their lesson. What happened a few weeks back at the Emirates when David Moyes, beat them in the Emirates Stadium, but they didn't manage for David Moyes to get in the groove. See, as soon as the ball get in that midfield, Arsenal start to play a little bit more faster. They start to play a little bit more quicker. But what I was expecting from Arsenal, down the left hand side and the right hand side, they didn't overload those areas, and when you have West Ham is packing the middle and having less players out on the wing, I think they should have overloaded the wing areas, So they probably could have created more opportunities down the wing, but obviously they did what they did, 6-0 at Hammer Stadium. What a day to end, their Sunday evening. I think that's their biggest away win, they said, in the Premier League, in the Premier League era. And I have one, I actually have one, they said that Arsenal, they have since 1935, yeah, Arsenal haven't won their fourth, the opening league game in the calendar year. So in that running, they said in 1935, what they beat West Brom, they beat Liverpool, they beat Leeds, and they beat Liverpool, they beat Sheffield Wednesday. So and now they beat Palace, they beat Forest, they beat Liverpool again in the running, and now they have beaten West Ham. So that is one for you guys right there. A little history for the Gunners Nation. But look, the Gunners Nation, they're on point right now with Manchester City. Yeah, the reason why Manchester City is leading them in the table is that they have a game in hand. They are the same amount of goal difference. They scored the same amount of goals, 31, I think, in the Premier League, same amount of points. Arsenal is right here again. They just cannot drop the ball again. I don't know what you think about Arsenal going forward from here.
Yeah, I feel I have to give them the credit. You only can beat the team that's in front of you, but so yeah, they're gonna be up there. They play their next game as against Burnley. Burnley have been struggling, so you could either see them win that game, unless that would be a disaster for them if they don't win that game. But yeah, they're up there. They're starting to get. They're starting to look their quality. Their quality start to come out now, and stuff like that. But I'm trying to figure out where is the weakness right now. I don't see any weakness for them. They look very solid in the back.
Yeah.
Odegaard and Saka start to pick up that pace again, like where they have that connection that they have last season. Saka start to look himself again. Martinelli, Declan Rice, you see the class showing now. So, they're going to be there. But, do Arsenal play Man City again this season? I think they do, right? They have another game with Man City at the Etihad. At the Etihad.
So they it will be March 31st.
Yeah, so they do have that. That's a tough game. So that's gonna be a very good game. They have United as well away and they have Chelsea at home. So they have some. They have to. Right? Yeah, them play away. So they still have some.
They go away to Wolves.
Yeah, they go away.
Very difficult place to go. They still have
Tottenham. Yeah, so they have some. They still have some.
They have a good running. Yeah, and look. I think out of those three teams that's fighting, I would say Liverpool, Arsenal, and City themselves. I think Arsenal have the toughest running because, as we were just saying, all right, so they have Newcastle, that team that's finished in the top four last season. Chelsea is there. You just cannot write off Chelsea, even though it's on a bad run of forms. But when Chelsea play against big teams, you could see that there's a reaction, to prove themselves. Arsenal still have City. Now I said they still have to go to Brighton. They still have to go to the Molineux. They play at London game away to Old Trafford. So I think they have one of the toughest running of games.
Yeah.
They have one of the toughest runnings of games. Moving forward. But I have something to play. There was an interview. With Piers Morgan. He's a big Gunners fan. And he said something right after the game that they played against Liverpool, and this is what Piers Morgan have to say, and what he said, it did happen in the game today.
And I think that Arteta has a blind spot about this. He has a ridiculous allegiance to Havertz, who I just don't think is good enough. And so here's my master plan, right? I think after what happened on Sunday, we have to have a midfield which has Jorginho and Rice. Apart from anything else, Jorginho is very calm and does his stuff brilliantly, but he also brings out the best in Rice. Now, up front, here's what I'm going to do. I think Martinelli should pull a Thierry Henry and start playing down the middle. Saka on the right, Trossard on the left. I would bench Jesus. I would send Havertz back to Chelsea, and I would do that. And I think for the rest of the season, Let's do that. Let's have the quick, strong guy down the middle, and let's actually have a proper go at having a striker. Because at the moment, for 1 week, don't have anyone down the middle that can finish. Havertz doesn't want to do it. He's not good enough. He's not a proper striker. And I think most Arsenal fans watching on Sunday would agree that Jorginho got man of the match. Martinelli was the best player on that pitch. And I think that it's time we bit the bullet and we said, right, young man, it's time to pull a Thierry.
Yeah. So what you were saying that, Havertz need to go back to Chelsea, take out, Nketiah and Gabriel Jesus from the front line and play Trossard and Saka and Martinelli up front. One player didn't make the cut, in that starting 11 today. It was Jorginho. Why? Why do a pull? Why do you think Jorginho was out? He had an excellent game against Liverpool and said so. He was saying that Jorginho is a good player to play with, Rice. He complement the player. Both players can work together in that double pivot moving forward, But you was a bit surprised that you saw that Jorginho wasn't in the starting 11.
Why are we complaining? Didn't Arsenal win 6-0 today? Why is he complaining? Is he said that after at the game or before the game?
He said that after the Liverpool game. So I played it to highlight that,
So why are we even discussing? This guy did want Arteta out from the day one. When he get rid of Ozil or Aubameyang and those type of players.
Yeah.
This is why not everybody is a coach. You get what I'm saying? That's why he doesn't have his license. This is why he's in a booth talking. Because he's not a coach. You get what I'm saying? As much as Havertz have been very frustrated to watch, there's a reason why he signed Havertz. Havertz might not be the final product, but he might do something in the team what Arteta like. You get what I'm saying? He might run the channel, he might link up the play, he might not be scoring, but there's a reason why he's in the team. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. They dropped 6-0 today. That means the coach picked the right team. That means that Jorginho, even if Jorginho play good in the last game and the coach say you're not playing this game and the coach win very convincingly, they dominate, we don't need to talk about anything. Maybe Jorginho play the next game. You get what I'm saying? If them lose today, you just say, yo, why never play Jorginho? Jorginho played so good the last game. But they didn't lose today. They didn't draw. They win 6-0. You get what I'm saying? There's a reason why the coach never played him in this game. So you get me? So it justified that Jorginho just didn't start. Because they win convincingly. You get me? So there's nothing else to talk about. Next game, let's see what's going on. Yeah.
Let's throw away all those Piers Morgan stuff. But he was actually saying that, further on in that interview that, when they won the league, 04, 02, and 98, Arsenal have.
And I'm gonna say this. This Martinelli need to play down the line. No, Martinelli cannot play. That is just nonsense.
No, that's nonsense. Yeah.
Martinelli is totally different player from Thierry. That is just not. Thierry learned his training to be a striker. You get what I'm saying? And he developed to be a winger. And Thierry ball knowledge and IQ is way up there from Martinelli. But this thing, and what do you mean though? Play Jesus. Jesus might not be clinical, but there's a reason why he always in the team.
He's very clever, a player that can drop back in that number 10 and let players run off his shoulders. Saka and Martinelli can come a little bit closer and run behind. But playing the Martinelli, I don't see Martinelli can play that Thierry role. Because Thierry is a player that, can drop deep, can create. Actually, but he's not clever. As you said, the IQ level enough coming back, go forward, know when to drop on
hold up the ball.
He's not strong enough. He's not strong enough. He probably can do a job, in that position, probably for like a game or two. But you're talking about for a longer period, playing 20 games in a Premier League season. Not yet. Not maybe 10 years from now. Maybe when he's getting more mature. But right now, no, I don't think so. But going to move on to another game. Spurs versus Brighton. I did not see much of this game. Yeah, I saw little patches of this game, but when I was looking at Spurs bench and that starting level, Youngmin Son is back, Bissouma is back, Papas, and that's his name, Sar is
Yeah.
back, the African player, he's back. A whole lot of players, came back off injury, and Tottenham just looking like a squad again. They won the game 2-1 at home against Brighton. But where you think Tottenham might finish, especially if Richarlison keeps scoring, Son gonna come back, he's going to chip in with some goals. But do you see Spurs breaking in his top three? Because his top three will be difficult to break in as they creating, that little gap from that top four and that who is at fifth position and sixth. But Spurs, what you think about moving forward, especially having Timo Werner? Where will he fit though? Where Timo Werner will fit in the Spurs team especially when Son is fully back in the starting 11 for Tottenham this season?
I think Tottenham will finish top four. I think they have this since Angie came in, they have this no die attitude. They even when they were playing against Chelsea and they were like 9-man done, they were still trying to go forward and try to win.
Yeah.
They was losing at City and they still come back to get that game. You get me? Brighton was dominating the game most of that game and they Tottenham come back in that game. So they have this. They bring this different mentality than before Tottenham, but then Tottenham that battle it or give up. So I think Tottenham would be seeing Aston Villa struggling right now and United. I still think United not convincingly. I think United gonna drop points and so I think the top three is already set already. You don't know who's gonna win the league.
Top three was
set. So it's that like last, but I still think Tottenham is the more convincing team. But Timo Werner came in. He's doing a good job. He did a pretty decent job. He's working hard, get back and stuff. But I think he could play on that right side sometimes. Maybe came in because he must have in the contract tell him that you're just coming in to fulfill in for Sang until Sang come back. So I think you'll be okay with it. I don't think Timo is a player who push up too much of a fuss. I think he'll be understanding that, okay, all right, because come in if you do a good job for a short period of time and stuff like that. So I think, because Sang is a better player than him, so he will understand that. And Richarlison is back, he's on farm, so you can't bench Richarlison. And Sang favorite position is the right and is on the left.
He's on the left,
So it makes sense to play Sang and Timo Werner can come on in a second half or play the right side sometimes. So I think Tottenham will finish top four. They don't give up that easy. And then Brighton. I don't know. Where was the Zerbi? Was he on suspension? Because he wasn't on the sideline.
I don't know, to be honest. I didn't really follow most of that game, to be honest. I didn't follow most of that game.
Yeah, but that is just Brighton this season. They're on and off. Yeah. I think Europa League kind of put a knock on their team. They're getting back a lot of players now.
Getting a lot back of their players. Still have Pedro out, and Enciso, Marsh. Marsh was a very good player for them last season.
Yeah,
Enciso. Enciso, was a very good player. Milner is still out, so, but, and that player, the other player that is going to play the African Cup of final today, Andingra, he's a talented player, top class, and also, remember Mitoma was away in the Asian Cup, and they signed a Ghanaian player. Yeah, they signed a Ghanaian player. I think his name is Usman. Yeah, they signed him from Norgeland. West Ham is supposed to buy that player, but the deal didn't go through. But they're looking to sell Mitoma, as they're ready to cash in on the Japanese player because the highly rated Ghanaian winger will look to come in, But Tottenham, as I was saying, they have players like Son, Bissouma, Brennan Johnson, Davis and Højbjerg coming off the bench in that game against Brighton. They didn't have that depth probably 2 months ago. as they were struggling. And then you have Lo Celso, Madison is looking like that player again. But Kulikevsky, and Werner, I think probably one of them will give way for Son in the next game when they play the Wolves at their home ground. But I'm going to move on. Liverpool beat Burnley 3-1 yesterday. Was it a scared, when O'Shea scored that equalizer goal, from that corner kick at Anfield. But one thing I have to say, man, Burnley, even though they're struggling with getting positive results, positive points, they playing like a really good team. I see this team, if they can keep this team in the Premier League for probably give them 2-3 seasons and, add on to it like more experienced player, more quality players, Vincent Company, I think, can do a greater job than what he's doing. But Vincent Company is draining the potential out of all of these players. He's trying to maximize as much as he can, as you see when Burnley's playing. But, longer the game goes on, Liverpool looking stronger, as minutes goes by, Trent is getting back to full match fit. And I must say, I'm applauding, the Burnley board. What's his name? JJ Watt, the NFL player that owned Burnley, giving Vincent Company the time, because if this team go down, you saw what they did when they were in the championship. They battered team home and away. They got promoted in 5 to 6 games to spare in the championship. So if they go down, keep their players, add to it, get the money, because Premier League clubs get a lot of money, when they get relegated. And we saw what Norwich did in the past. Wigan Athletic used to do it. Few teams used to do it in the past, and use that money to finance. Aston Villa used to do it, in the past. Get that finance, add on, get quality players. But Burnley, if they go down, I see them bouncing back right up. But Liverpool, the big midfielder is back. Endo, the South Korean, as he got knocked out of the Asian Cup, semi-final. You think he's a very important player for Liverpool going forward, especially breaking up plays, stopping number 10s, running into that local acute spots. I don't know what you think about the South Korean player.
Yeah, I think he's a top. He's a South Korean or not Japanese?
Huh?
Endo is a South Korean?
He's a Japanese.
Japanese. Okay. He's you can see McAllister when McAllister was playing at the DM role. He didn't want to. He played there good, but you can see there's more to his game than just stay back. You get what I'm saying? He's very creative, but Liverpool was a game. They kind of start shaky. So he's really, really doing a job. Because when he came in early in the season, he kind of looked shaky, but you see he started to show his quality and second down with the midfield so far. But even in Burnley, they was getting opportunity. I just still Liverpool.
They were getting opportunities in the game.
Chelsea loan, Fafana, he got a couple.
He got that chance. He got 2 chances in the game. He should have scored. You have to score those goals. You have to score those goals.
He scored in the last game, so you would have think that he would have that confidence to put that ball.
At least put one. At least put one in the back of the net. Burnley, they, as I said, that possession game with Vincent Company, they have more passes in the opposition box than in the opposition half than in their own half. So you see that they're playing very positive football. But I have one about Vincent Company and his teams playing in away games. So away to Villa Park, they lost that game 3-2. They conceded a goal, a penalty kick, Douglas Lewis in the 89th minute. Brighton away, they conceded. They were leading 1-0 up, and they conceded in the 77th minute of that game. Bournemouth away, they were 1-1, and guess what? They lost the game 2-1, and they conceded a goal in the 76th minute. Forest away, they were leading, for the most part of that game, and they conceded, a chance. They conceded in the 61st minute. So you could see that, Burnley away is playing really good. They get in those moments where they're in the games, but not managed to hold on to a draw or a win. And Liverpool next game will be away at the GTEC Stadium against Brentford, and they haven't won there in their last 2 visits. In the Premier League, they have conceded 6 goals. They lost 3-1 and drew 3-3 the last 2 times they went there. So I'm not sure, what's to expect from Brentford. We saw what happened at home against Manchester City. They took the lead, but they just crumbled, in the end. And it happened at Tottenham Stadium also. They're playing good, but not managed to hold on to a positive results. Really good team, playing in a really good system. Ivan Toney, brought back some life in the team. Yeah, and guess what? Wissa will be back for that game, for the Liverpool game. So it's going to be a really good game, next week against Brentford away. Yeah. Next up, next game. This game was really exciting. 3-2 win. Forest and Newcastle. This was a really good end-to-end football. We saw what happened at the home field at St. James Park when Chris Wood scored a hat-trick on Newcastle that day, his former team. But Newcastle make sure that the same thing what happened at St. James Park didn't happen, away to Forest, to the City ground. But Newcastle, I don't know, man. This team, sometimes they played brightly, sometimes they played a little bit like they're tired. They don't want to be on the pitch. But again, it must be, start of the season, they're looking like the team, going to finish again in that. They start the season bad, but gradually they get into it.
Yeah.
They started 4th in the Champions League, and they kind of looking like, where are we going to finish? We're going to finish in the top half of the league this season, because they struggle with injuries, the first half of the campaign. And now, they're kind of finding back their mojo. This is their first time, winning back-to-back games on the road. So, you could see that there is some life, back there for Newcastle. But I just said it, Newcastle first time winning back-to-back games away. You surprised of that little stats right there?
Yeah, because they keep on getting a lot of injuries and players just the consistency is not there, you keep on chopping and changing. So, this always was gonna happen this season for them, with the inconsistent and stuff like that. But defensively, you don't think they have a very bad defensive record? They have letting a lot of goals this season
Newcastle
compared to last season.
They have let in 39 goals.
Compared to last season, because I remember last season they have one of the best defensive record. I think they've been letting a lot of goals this season.
Last year they conceded 39 goals.
33.
They conceded 33 last season and conceded 39 now.
You see what I'm saying? So, defensively they have not been the same this season. That game, I didn't really watch too much of the game. I just saw, it's like I was looking at it, and every time when I look at it, someone score. So I wasn't really. I was watching the Bayern Munich Real Madrid game more closely, but I don't know. I think maybe Conference League for them. I don't think.
Yeah, they should be Conference League for them. It will probably be really good just to stay in Europe. The fans. I think the fans will accept. Playing in the Champions League this season. Next season they're still in Europe if they can manage to hold on to one of those European spots. They would accept that, especially with the amount of injuries that they got this season. So the fans will accept that. But yeah, last season, they were one of the better defensive team in the league, especially playing away. Last season, they conceded just 13 goals on the road. So you see that there was a massive difference. The only team to concede less on the road was Man City and Arsenal last season. So they were the better team, over everyone in the Premier League last season. But Gibbs White, I think he will be a real good fit for Newcastle. What do you think about Gibbs White?
Gibbs White, top talent. Creative wise in the middle, he's very good. Right, playing right behind the striker through the pocket. But you could see him leaving Nottingham Forest for sure in the summer. Like you could see a better team. I see maybe Tottenham,
Yeah,
who else? Aston Villa. I think he would have been a
yeah.
very great pickup for Aston Villa. I think it'll be a good pickup for Aston Villa. Really, or Newcastle. One of those the team
I
Newcastle. Stuff.
I think if you want to go to the next level, I don't think go to Spurs would be the best idea because once Madison fit, you just cannot get
Yeah,
a game.
that's
You
why I
know,
said that's why I said Aston Villa because I don't think Aston Villa have that creative number 10. Like I don't think they have. They have what's his name, the Argentina player, but he's injured. All injured when
Buendia, he will be back in a
Buendia.
week. He'll be back in a few weeks. He's coming
Yeah,
back shortly. You know,
but
really good player.
otherwise than that, I don't see they have that much
He
that
might
number
fit the
10.
Villa system too, because the way Unai Emery want to play midfielders in that little wing areas, not in
Yeah.
that little small pockets on the wing. So he might fit that system. But if you want to get the best out of Gibbs White, you have to surround the team by around him in that number 10 position. But he's a really good player. I love this player. And I wish he could come and play for the Reggae Boys, man. But I don't know what he's waiting on. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. You know, Newcastle, the Geordies beat Nottingham Forest 3-2 away at the City Ground. Yeah. Bruno, this Bruno Guimaraes, the Brazilian, top talent. You know, he's another player that Newcastle going to try to hold off. You know, probably give him a new extended contract to keep bigger clubs away from him. I saw Real Madrid link with him, Barcelona link with him, Bayern Munich link with him. He's a really good midfielder. You know, for Newcastle. You know, I think he can do it at the next level, at an elite
Yeah,
club.
yeah, of course. You have that mentality as a player like him. He's a dirty player too. Like he don't care to get in dirty. Like he will put in a tackle and stuff like that. But I can see one of those top team come for him in the summer. Newcastle is gonna have to be they're in the financial fair play rules, so
Yeah,
it's gonna be very difficult to hold on to him. I think he loved the club. I think he gave his all for the club, but the quality is there. Brazil international,
yeah.
so you could see Real Madrid, one of those Barca. I hope he doesn't go
Yeah,
to
that's
Barca.
what's top team.
Barca. I hope he doesn't go to no
think
Barca,
I
man.
think he will be a good player to probably replace Tony Cruz
Yeah,
playing in that
yeah.
role in midfield. You know, he's
Vinicius
very
and
good defensively. Yeah,
all the Brazilian they already so
yeah,
the
and
chemistry and the connection is
he's a
already
good
there.
player technically too with good passing range.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
so he's a really good player. He actually can suit the Bayern system also. Taught me to Hudson Odoi. You know, didn't work out well at at Chelsea. You know, he took some break away. You know, he obviously was injured too, but he's a new player. He's looking at the odds other that Chelsea, showcase the world that this is going to be a big player in a few years from now. But didn't manage. But no, why do you think it's working out for odds other?
You think it is working out? I think sometimes we see all right, so Hudson Odoi came on as a Chelsea. He got a very bad injury, and he just kind of messed up his development. So he did have a very bad injury. Came back, was doing pretty good, and chopping and changing manager. Thomas Tuchel did have him around the squad. He was doing pretty decent. Was having playing at wing back sometimes, so kind of messed up his
Yeah,
development. Went to Leverkusen, never really worked out. Came back. Pochettino never really won him, never really give him the opportunity to be around the squad in the summer. And, he's got to move, but sometimes situation happen for players. You just, they just need some luck. I feel like going to Nottingham Forest, no, not a lot of pressure is there. Still a traditional big
big
club,
club. Yeah,
but
win the European Cup before.
yeah, so sometimes when a player left a bigger club, never work out for him and go find his feet. I think it's doing good, pretty decent there. But we have to remember, being at a smaller club, less pressure, less media attention, less because Chelsea fans. Because I saw him post yesterday. Saying that thanks for the support and etc. And he put up a picture that he scored. I'm telling you, if he was at Chelsea, lose that match yesterday, he would have never posted that picture.
Never.
Even if he scored, he would have never posted that picture. So you see the level of because I'm telling you, Chelsea fans see him post and I say, yo, brother, where you post that for? We lose the match. You know what I mean? I say, so you see the difference with the pressure and the fans them and the expectation when they're a much more smaller club. I'm glad that he's finally fit, because that was the main thing with him. Him finally fit and find his feet. But I wish Pochettino they give him an opportunity though in the preseason. You know, cause look, we have man like Modric who signed for almost over 100 million. You don't see nothing convincing there. Outside though, he's a good talent. You know, I wish him well, but you know, I think the expectation and the challenging is different compared to when you play for Chelsea and United. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, saying that, Forest, when he said that Forest was a big club, traditional club, I just looked up their trophy cabinet. You know that Forest won the Champions League, what they call the All European Cup, back in the days, back to back, 1978, 1979 season, and then won it again in 1979, 1980 season. I think Brian Clough was was there during that spell. Yeah, but yeah, really big club. But you see that interview that he did, he said that, living in London, playing for Chelsea, the pressure and living in London, it's a lot of distraction. You always have things to do, but when you live, in that country part of England, you leave training and that's it. You go home, you have nothing really to do. But when you're in London, man, oh my God, you have crazy things to do, And when I saw that interview pulled for the first time, who came across my mind? Whisper. Yeah, he came across my mind same time, because others a young player at the time was saying like the pressure to play for Chelsea and just living in London alone, if you can't keep your head firm, it's easy to lose your way just by doing stuff. You have all of your friends them around. It's, he's a local boy, so yeah, man. But we are coming to the end, as we 8 minutes away from that kickoff African Cup of Nations. But we just want to talk about one thing in the last 5 minutes that we have. Bobby Reid have scored for Fulham yesterday and assist a goal. Bobby Reid is being one of those journey player, for Fulham. Through the thin and rough, the thick, everything, the rain, the storm. He got relegated twice from the Premier League. He got promotion twice to the Premier League. And, Bobby Reid have played 89 games for Fulham in the Premier League and scored 14 and assist 3 goals, in that spell. Yeah, obviously he scored more goals, but that was his Premier League stats right there. Bobby Reid, you think when he finished his career, he can looking back and like, yo, I am one of those veteran players, that play for Fulham in the Premier League, because as I said, got relegated twice, in 2020, 2021, 22, 2023 season, and got promoted back up again. You think he is going to have a strong legacy at Craven Cottage at the end of his career?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. One of those players that stay with, as I said, stay with them through rain, everything, stick it out, that never put up a fuss, never really ask for a transfer or something, more, go somewhere. So, I mean, I don't really know too much of Fulham fans or what they think of him, but I could think that they would have think he's probably one of those loyal players to stay with them regardless of, thin and tough. But, Bobby Reid, I like Bobby Reid. He always give me a very good impression that he's one of those players that, he always
very professional player.
Yeah. Even when he's playing for Jamaica, he always give his best, and I was one of the best players on the field. So, very top professional. But I can see him be a very stay there for more years and become one of their veteran. But yeah.
So Bobby Reid best ever season in English football was in 2017-2018 season when he was playing a championship for Bristol. He played 52 games during that in that season, and he scored 21 goals and 8 assists. That's when Cardiff saw him talent and picked him up from there. But that's a really good stats for he was a young man at that time, 2017, 2018, scoring over 20 goals in the season, played over 50 games. Look, you played 46 games in the championship, in league format alone. 46, no, is it 46?
I think
I think it's 40. I think it's 40. Yeah, I think it's around 46 games that you played, in the championship. Yeah. Remember, it's what, 2022, 2014, something down there. Yeah. So let's check. I don't remember what the championship. Yeah, 24. Yeah, 24. So you played a whole lot of games, and for him to score so much goal at that time as a young man, and he came through that Bristol City, academy, and you could see that the more he's getting older, it's like he's getting stronger and stronger. His gameplay is getting more smarter. You remember that season when I think that when they got relegated for the second time, in 4 years, he was playing at wing back. You remember at that time when he was playing at wing back for Fulham?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember who was the coach at the time. I don't remember if it was Scott Parker when Scott Parker was the interim.
Scott Parker was there one time. I'm not sure about who was the other coach.
Yeah, I don't remember who was there, but he was playing wing back, for a season or two, and then he went down to the championship, for Fulham, and he scored goals down there. Yeah, he have scored goals down there. So he's a really good player, but he's going to be one of those players that can look back at his Premier League career and say, yeah, I have played some really good games. And when Bobby Reid scored, he scored some big goals for Fulham also. Yeah, scored some wonderful goals. But yeah, that was Bobby Reid's best ever season in an English season. Yeah, in England. But I have to run now, man, because the big game is coming up. Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire versus the Super Eagles, Nigeria. Yeah, we are going to want to watch that game. And also, I think there's another game that is on also. AC Milan will play Napoli. That game is actually 11 minutes in right now. So I want to go and see those two games. But the African Cup, that's where my time is going to be, from 3 o'clock till 5 p.m. Also, the Jamaican Premier League is also playing. Yeah, Jamaican Premier League is also playing. I think Arborview play tomorrow. Yeah, I think there will be the game against Portmore will play Mullines, and also Cavalier will play Lime also. Those are the featured games, Cavalier first. So yeah, bless up, man. Thanks for having
man, people.
Podcast. People go over there and support, Daniel Football Show, as the extra time will be later, so bless up yourself. We catch up back later.